There's a $2 component that stops your solar panels from losing power every time a shadow crosses them. Not a software optimization that marginally adjusts charge controller parameters. Not a panel cleaning schedule that restores output temporarily until dust returns. Stops the power loss permanently. Prevents the electrical cascade failure that causes one shaded cell to drag down every other cell in the same panel string, silently bleeding 15-25% of your total system output every time a cloud edge, tree branch, rooftop vent, or antenna casts even a partial shadow across a single panel. One component per panel. Costs $2, clips onto existing wiring in 4 minutes with no tools beyond wire strippers, and the output collapse that happens every time partial shade touches your array stops permanently. Your panels produce what the unshaded cells are capable of producing. The shaded cell is bypassed electrically. The rest of the string continues at full output. This component has been mandatory in NASA spacecraft solar array design since the 1960s. It is specified in IEC 619, the international standard governing solar panel testing and certification. Military solar field systems required on every panel. Off-grid system designers who understand photovoltaic physics install it as a non-negotiable baseline component. Yet residential solar installers, particularly budget installers competing on lowest quote pricing, routinely skip or underspecify this component to reduce bill of materials cost by 4.8 per panel, leaving your system silently underperforming every time shade touches your array for the entire 25-year lifespan of your installation. The residential solar installation market generates $25 billion annually in the US alone. Optimizers, microinverters, panel upgrades, system expansions, all marketed as the solution to underperforming solar systems. A $2 component that prevents the most common cause of solar underperformance is not an upgrade they can bill $300 per panel for. It is a revenue category they cannot survive. This is what installers buried. Welcome to Dr. Ray in Lab. Here's what actually happens when a shadow crosses your solar panel, and why the output drop is catastrophically larger than the shaded area suggests it should be. A standard solar panel contains 60 to 72 individual solar cells connected in series, meaning current flows through each cell sequentially, like links in a chain. Each cell in full sun generates approximately 0.5 volts and contributes its share of current to the total panel output. A 300-watt panel in full sun is all 60 to 72 cells producing at full capacity simultaneously. Now a shadow covers 3 cells, just 3 out of 60, 5% of the panel surface. You might expect 5% output reduction. The actual output reduction is typically 30 to 60% of total panel output. Here is the physics of why. In a series circuit, current is limited by the weakest element in the chain. Shaded cells receive less light, generate less current, and because every cell is in series, the entire string can only carry the current the weakest shaded cell can produce. The 60 unshaded cells are constrained by the 3 shaded ones. This is already a severe loss, but the physics gets worse. The unshaded cells are still generating voltage. That voltage has nowhere to go because the shaded cells are restricting current flow. The unshaded cells force current through the shaded cells in reverse. The shaded cells become passive resistors, dissipating the electrical energy as heat rather than contributing to output. This is called the hotspot effect. Shaded cells can reach temperatures of 80 to 150 degrees during hotspot conditions, hot enough to damage cell material, delaminate panel encapsulant, and in severe cases, crack cells or melt solder connections. Hotspot damage is cumulative and permanent. Your panel is simultaneously losing 30-60% of output and physically damaging itself every time partial shade occurs without bypass diodes. The component that prevents this is a bypass diode, a semiconductor device that creates an alternative current path around shaded cell groups when those cells restrict current flow. When a bypass diode is installed across a group of cells, and those cells become shaded and current limiting, the diode activates automatically, conducting current around the shaded group rather than forcing it through the shaded cells. The shaded cell group is electrically removed from the series circuit. The unshaded cell groups continue producing at full current. Total panel output is reduced only by the proportion of cells bypassed, not by the cascading series circuit effect that would otherwise occur. 3 cells shaded out of 60 with bypass diodes properly installed. Output reduction is proportional to the bypassed cell group, typically 10-33% of one panel depending on bypass diode grouping, rather than 30 to 60% of total system output. The hotspot effect is eliminated. The unshaded cells produce at full rated current. Cost of one bypass diode, 0.50 2.0. A standard panel requires 3 bypass diodes, 1 per 24 cell group. Total component cost per panel, $150 $6. This has been in photovoltaic engineering literature since the 1960s. It is in every undergraduate electrical engineering textbook covering solar cell physics. It is mandatory in every properly engineered solar installation. And budget residential installers skip it or use substandard single diode configurations to save $4, $8 per panel, a saving they pocket while your system silently underperforms for 25 years. Bypass diodes in solar arrays are not a modern optimization. They are a fundamental design requirement documented from the earliest days of photovoltaic engineering, before residential solar existed as a consumer market. NASA Technical Report. NASA TN D4236, Solar Cell. Array Design Handbook, published in 1967, established bypass diode requirements for spacecraft solar arrays. Bypass diodes must be incorporated across solar cell substrings to prevent reverse bias conditions under partial illumination or cell failure. Without bypass protection, partial shading of series-connected cell strings results in power dissipation in shaded cells, elevated cell temperatures, and potential permanent cell degradation. Bypass diode installation is a non-negotiable design requirement for any solar array subject to non-uniform illumination conditions. Non-negotiable design requirement. NASA documentation. 1967. When NASA designates something a non-negotiable design requirement on spacecraft, where panel replacement is impossible after launch, the physics behind that requirement is not ambiguous. Bypass diodes have been mandatory in aerospace solar design for nearly 60 years. Through the 1980s and 1990s, as terrestrial solar installations expanded from military and government applications toward commercial and eventually residential use, bypass diode specification remained standard in properly engineered systems. The problem entered the market with the residential solar boom of the 2000s and 2010s. As installation volume increased and price competition intensified among installers competing for residential contracts, bill of materials optimization became standard practice. Bypass diodes, invisible components that buyers never see or ask about, became a cost reduction target. Budget installers use single bypass diodes where engineering specifications call for 3, use lower rated diodes that fail earlier under thermal stress, or omit additional external bypass diodes on panels whose internal diodes are insufficient for the specific shading patterns of the installation site. The customer never knows. The output loss is invisible without before and after measurement. The hotspot damage accumulates silently over years. By the time panel degradation becomes visible in output monitoring, the installation warranty period has expired and the installer has no liability. Think about your solar system's output on a partly cloudy day. You watch the monitoring app. A cloud edge passes over one corner of your array. Output drops from 3,200 watts to astounding 900 watts. That is a 40% drop from a shadow, covering perhaps 15% of your panel surface. You have always assumed this is normal. Clouds reduce sunlight, output drops. The drop seems larger than it should be, but you have no reference point. The tree that grew 3 feet taller last summer. Its shadow now crosses the bottom row of your panels for 2 hours every afternoon between 3 and 5 p.m. Your summer output is lower than your installer's projection by 18%. The installer says it is the tree. They quote you $800 per panel for power optimizers to solve the shading problem. The rooftop vent pipe that your installer assured you was not in the shade path. In reality, its shadow crosses one panel for 40 minutes every morning. Your monitoring shows a daily morning output dip you have been attributing to morning haze. The panel in the corner of your array that your thermal camera app shows running 30 degrees C hotter than adjacent panels on sunny afternoons. Hotspot damage from inadequate bypass protection. Accumulating silently, degrading cell material that cannot be restored. $6 of properly specified bypass diodes installed at commissioning prevents every one of these scenarios. Here's exactly what to do, both for diagnosing whether your existing system is affected and for adding bypass diode protection to systems that need it. What you need. Bypass diodes, Schottky barrier diodes rated for your panel's short circuit current plus 50% safety margin. For a standard 300-400 watt residential panel with 9 to 10 amp short circuit current, use 15 amp rated Schottky diodes. Specifications: 15A 45V minimum reverse voltage rating. Cost per diode: $0.50, $150 at any electronic supplier. 3 per panel required. Total per panel: $150, $450. Wire strippers and crimping tool. Junction box access: your panel's junction box on the rear of the panel. Housing contains the existing bypass diode connections. A clamp meter for output verification before and after. Step 1. Diagnose your current situation. On a clear, sunny day with no shading, record your system's total output from your monitoring system. Note this baseline. Then deliberately shade one panel, hold a piece of cardboard to cover approximately 1/3 of one panel's surface, and observe output drop, record the percentage drop. If output drops more than 35% from covering 1/3 of one panel in a multi-panel system, your bypass diode configuration is insufficient for your installation. A properly bypassed system loses output proportional only to the bypassed cell group, typically 8 to 12% of one panel's output, which in a multi-panel system represents 1 to 3% of total system output, not 35%. Step 2. Access junction boxes. Each panel has a junction box on its rear surface, typically a small weatherproof plastic housing with the DC output cables exiting from it. The junction box contains the existing bypass diode connections and terminal blocks. Power down your system completely before opening any junction box. Confirm 0 voltage across panel terminals with your multimeter before touching any connections. Step 3. Assess existing bypass diodes. Open the junction box. Most panels contain 1 to 3 bypass diodes already. The question is whether they are correctly rated and correctly positioned for your shading conditions. A single bypass diode across the full panel, common in budget panel configurations, provides minimal protection because it only activates when the majority of cells are shaded. 3 diodes across 20 to 24 cell groups each provides granular protection that activates when any cell group experiences shading. If your junction box shows 1 diode, your panel has inadequate bypass protection for typical partial shading conditions. If your junction box shows 3 diodes, check their current rating against your panel's short circuit current specification. Rating should be at least 1.5x, the panel's ISC. Underrated diodes fail thermally under sustained hotspot conditions. Step 4. Install additional bypass diodes. If adding diodes to existing panels, connect each Schottky diode in parallel with its designated cell group. Cathode to positive terminal of the cell group, anode to negative terminal. The diode is reverse biased under normal operation and conducts only when the cell group it protects becomes current limiting. If you're not comfortable with DC electrical work at panel voltage, which is a legitimate safety consideration, this is a task for an electrician or solar technician. The component cost is $6 per panel. Labor for a technician to install on an accessible rooftop system, $20.40 per panel. Total corrective cost per panel, $26.46, compared to $800 per panel for power optimizers that solve the same shading problem through more expensive technology. For new installations, before signing any installation contract, add this requirement to your specification. All panels to be fitted with 3 bypass diodes rated at minimum 1.5x panel short circuit current, installed in junction box prior to commissioning. Installer to provide diode specification sheet confirming rating. Any installer who objects to this requirement or quotes a significant upcharge for standard bypass diode specification is telling you something important about how they build systems. Output verification. After bypass diode installation or correction, repeat the cardboard shading test from step 1. Covering 1/3 of one panel should now produce an output drop of no more than 3 to 5% of total system output, the proportional loss from that cell group being bypassed, rather than the 30-40% cascade loss from inadequate bypass protection. Cost comparison, power optimizers, SolarEdge, Tigo, the installer recommended solution to shading losses, $8,150 per panel installed. Full system optimization, $802,000 additional cost. Microinverters, Enphase, panel level maximum power point tracking, $150 to $200 per panel. Full system, $500, $4,000 additional. Properly specified bypass diodes, 1.50, $450 in components per panel. Addresses the fundamental electrical cause of shading losses, series circuit cascade, for 2 to 5% of the cost of optimizer technology. Note, optimizers and microinverters provide additional benefits beyond shading protection. Panel level monitoring, independent MPPT per panel, system level diagnostic data. For installations with severe complex shading patterns, they are justifiable. For installations where bypass diode under specification is the primary underperformance cause, $6 of diodes solves the problem optimizers address at 50x the cost. If this changed how you think about the output drop you assumed was normal cloud behavior, the tree shadow your installer said requires 800 ohms of tolerant per panel optimizers to address, or the corner panel running 30 degrees Celsius hotter than every other panel on your roof, subscribe to Dr. Rayan Lab and share this now. Every share puts 60 years of NASA photovoltaic engineering back in the hands of solar owners who were sold 150 per panel technology solutions for a 2 per panel component problem that budget installers created by skipping a specification that costs less than a cup of coffee per panel. Next vault, the $3 compound that doubles your solar battery lifespan permanently. The same electrolyte, conditioning chemistry, industrial battery, maintenance services charge $200 per battery to perform. documented in military battery maintenance manuals since the 1970s, that the battery replacement industry buried because a battery that lasts 20 years is a battery they never sell you again. Subscribe. The lab never closes. This is Dr. Rayan Lab. The science is yours.